does this go? I've invited some friends to play and I wanted to introduce you. By the way, I went to the dump yesterday and garbage has become just exquisitely expensive and it pleases me so. So the next time somebody invites you to their home and their kitchen sink makes you want to puke, feel pretty damn good about it. Okay. Oh, it just occurred to me the other day when I said something about people accepting a handful of rubble and saying this is rubble, and the answer being like, yeah, I made that for you. It's not that I made that, it's my mama made that for us. Okay, so here we have my friend. This is a candle holder, and I can't remember what this one's name is, but it's a rock. I don't know what happened. I think I got some oil on it, so it's not really the way it's supposed to be right now, so don't go looking for them looking like this. So I think it's not kyanite, is it? Anyway, it's a green stone, and I just fell in love with it the minute I saw it. It has really, really beautiful striations and veins, and there's a lot going on with it. It kind of has a glint. I don't know if there's metals in it. Anyway, this one's lovely. And then this I bought during the COVID shutdown, and I bought it over the phone, and it was just with giggles, and I don't know why I felt so like impatient or excited, or like it was like this momentous thing, and that wasn't even what I was gonna buy, and it was just this, God, stop asking me questions, just grab it. Because this poor woman, like, probably, anyway. So this is and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to introduce you to my friends, because these are your friends too. These are everybody's friends. And we need to stop going, it's fun to go to encyclopedias and the written word for information about our friends. It's fun to kind of discover, like, figure things out and then have those aha moments and feel like we own that because we figured it out. And that's fun, but we have to realize that that's what that is. It's in jest. We need to introduce ourselves to our friends in, like, private, I guess. Or just, and all I mean by that is, like, within, like, what do we think this friend is or does, or what do we, yeah, this might be called kyanite, it might be called kazanite, I don't remember, but it's, my friend. And I like its striations, and I like its sparkles. And then this is a seashell that is a abalone shell. So they're really beautiful shells on the inside. And you see, I first was introduced to this kind of crustacean through guitar. When I picked up the guitar, I think I was around 14 or 15. No, I think I was younger. I think I was around 13 because it was after 6th grade. It was like the summer in between 6th and 7th. Or maybe it was the summer in between 7th and 8th. And I was held back in kindergarten, so you can't go by, like, standard aging. Anyway. Abalone shell is used to be decorative. It's used in buttons too. It's not just inlays for guitar necks and parts. Abalone is buttons. Abalone shell has been used for a long, long time as decorative, as beautiful because of the glinty. But my shell is very rarely pretty. It has a patina of crap all over it. And I just adore that. And these shells are supposed to be gifted, they say. You're not supposed to go out and buy them. if you go out and buy them, you need to give them away. But I bought this knowing that. It's kind of another example of why it's more important that we introduce ourselves to things in a personal way. And that doesn't mean people, that means things. So this bowl is a piece that is my grandmother's, because I live in her apartment, and she has a story with this bowl. And I don't know why, but I don't use it for food. I use it to set things in, right now, just herbs that are very pungent and odorous. So I had a big few pinches of valerian, which had these lovely, I don't know if it was bark or, because I know that the plant matter of the valerian is used as well as the root. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard to get out. And I think the stuff that Vicky has at the Gypsy's Whimsy is possibly just all, it's the whole plant processed properly, so that we can safely use everything all in one jar. I've mixed that elder blossom, that dried elder blossom that smelled to me like honeysuckle and candy, and just so the valerian has a really I don't know how to describe it to people so that it makes sense. It's just this beautifully foul smell. It's so complicated, and it's really heavy, and it puts me to sleep, so I lightened it up, and it was just a really good idea. And it occurred to me as I was kind of bringing my friends to play together that because I was just going to put a pinch of elder blossom on my coal, and it felt wrong. It felt like you shouldn't burn elder blossom unless it's been, and I don't mean this in like a raunchy way, but like this has literally been mixed together and sleeping together in this bowl. I don't know for how long, but it didn't feel right to put the elder blossom in by itself. And I'm glad I reserved the mixture, because when I burned it, it smelled so cool. The other thing, I used to try to throw herbs or like empty a tea bag, an herbal blend, onto a coal, and it's never worked for me, but something clicked today. First of all, you have to forget that you lit the coal and let it get hot. And then when you start putting the herbs near the heat, we have to be careful of how much resin, because that burns really slowly, and it goes through phases as it burns, as it breaks down. How much liquid resin is involved still. That's gonna change the way things burn. And we also have to kind of speak to ourselves and the coal and the herbs, to burn gently. Burn gently now. Burn gently. And we just have to remember that if we're throwing a bunch of dry plant matter on a hot coal before the hot coal has really, really unlocked its potential, and if there's any unused liquid resin still in the mix, it's going to change the alchemy. It's going to change the way the plant burns. And I always just thought that it was because that you can't burn the plant matter and the resin at the same time. It's just that we have to be mindful of what else is going on. You can totally do all these different things at the same time. I things you never thought possible. And that's just a funny, silly example that you won't understand if you don't know the frustration of really wanting to know what burning skullcap smells like. And when you mix it with benzoin and dragon's blood, what that's like. These guys have been my friends for a really long time, but I finally figured out how to get them all together. Can you see my seahorses? These are gifts from my grandma. So my entire space that I live in is a gift from my grandma, but these are mine. And most of the rings I wear are hers that she gave to me. And I didn't even have to wait for her to leave this earth. Let that melt like a really, really, really big piece of chocolate. So they have opals in them. One is blue, and it is on, I believe, I don't remember the kind of wood, but it's carved scrimshaw into a piece of petrified wood. It's the sort of classic bluey opal that I think most people kind of associate with being an opal. That blue color, it's kind of a milky, hazy, bluey green, but it's got rainbow. Like, you can't deny there's every single color. And it's pretty plain to see, because, I mean, I'm not going to switch them around because it's really hard to arrange things in this candle holder. And they're happy playing the way they are. So it's pretty plain to see. It's sort of this white blue backwash with all of the rainbow. You're just like, oh my God, that's so pretty. And the dark wood is a good contrast to all those bright, pretty colors. And then we have the opposite of that here. This guy is my other seahorsey, and I can't remember if this is tusk or bone, but this is also scrimshaw. And it's, I was looking at it, and Grandma loves opal. And I know that there are fire opals. But this looks like amber to me. I don't think, I am, I'm wearing her. This looks like amber to me. And there's sparkle. It's definitely opal, but it just, I want to be curious about, I don't even want to try to, because when I try to ask the internet questions, I'm starting to fall into the algorithm. It's starting to get used to me, but when I ask the internet questions, I just get really frustrated because I feel like I'm putting I did a little bit of librarian school, so I feel like pretty cocky, I guess, about my search term know-how. But lately it's just my higher self and your higher self has the same message. It's just a message saying, like, no, just ask yourself, and get really excited about how good it feels to be curious about something new. What's the difference between amber and opal? Because they look so similar, but they're not. I know they're not. Are they? And this seahorsey fell off of a shelf, and before I went to pick him up, the storm of rage and like self-flogging, because I knew it was shattered. I knew it was broken. You don't take something that old and fragile and let it fall off a shelf. And you can see, instead of it being broken at all, there's no blemish on this blessed seahorsey. The only thing that broke was the little metal ring that was holding it to its cord. My blue one still has its cord. And then this little fishy, he's hiding. It's just a little brown plastic fish on a piece of red cording that came with, I think it was a pair of shoes. Was it shoes or a shirt? Oh, I don't know. In like 2015, 16, 17, I felt like it was fine to just, if you have a little extra money, get some shoes if they're only $4 and shipping's free. And it's funny because those shoes, I carry them around, but I don't even know that these came from those shoes, but it was around that same time. The shoes that I'm talking about, I talk about because I love them. I keep finding them, and every time I find them, I just go, fuck, you're so cool. I love you. But they're shredded. I need to throw the slippers away. Yeah. That fishy, I've tried giving as a sweet little gift at least once that I can remember. And where I found it made me sad, so I took it back. So yeah, that's my friend. And then in the Lotus candle holder, which is broken, its back pedal is broken off, which makes life easier, honestly. It's easier to get things in there, get in and out. I don't know if anyone has one of these, but they're shaped such that the pedals kind of, it looks like there's a nice big space in there, but the pedals, I don't know what the words are for that sound. So when you try to take things back out, it catches it. So when I don't know. Please keep up. I'm not talking to you guys listening. The egg that's in it is a blown egg that I made in spring of either 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2020 because it's only moved houses once. I did 2 of them because I had an inspiration to do that as a project for a few weeks, instead of like unwind to the same stuff like color books and knitting and beading and doodling and writing. I was gonna just use like whatever nail polish and acrylic paints I had laying around and just do a series of eggs. We did blown eggs when I was little for Easter, and during that time I was very lost or seeking, and those are hard times, and I didn't have a lot of that creative fire to actually offer. So this was my best. I blew the insides out of 2 eggs, and I think I started painting one of them. It had a little yellow star on it, or a black star. I can't remember which. One of them had like a yellow spot. Anyway, and right around the same time that the red stone seahorsey fell, the egg fell. It wasn't the same event, but the egg broke. And instead of being sad, like, because I didn't really know why I kept the eggs. I had no intention of finishing them. I keep my projects hoping that I will come back around to them because it's really expensive to start new hobbies and new projects. And I liked the idea of doing a series of these blown eggs with, using paint or using things to color them that you're really not even supposed to. I think you're supposed to use oil paints or if somebody came to the craft store and asked like, hey, what would be a good, I would do like paint pens and then like a varnish. So it just appealed to me to use like gel pens and felt tip markers and what was that Robert Munch permanent, lasts forever, never wash off until after you die markers, and just make my eggs, But instead of being sad that I had carried these 2 eggs around and now one of them broke and now I've only got 1 egg and it felt kind of fucking stupid. Anyway, it was like, oh, haha. I don't know why. It was, oh, haha. I didn't even know why I had that anyway. And then as I let it break in my brain, I know that doesn't make sense. As I just kind of let myself look at it and feel, oh, haha. I don't know. I saw a really beautiful phenomena occur at the beach, and I encourage you guys to go to the beach and look for it. In these are they whirlpools? They're not really tide pools. They're just parts of the beach where the sand is not flat. And as the tide comes and goes, sometimes you can catch, it looked like the letter C, and I couldn't tell, or like a U shape, and then the water was flushing down either into or underneath the U shape in the different ways that the water moves. Like a letter C or a bay, or just the way it moved, and it was just this beautiful phenomena of, I couldn't tell what was coming, what was going. I couldn't tell what I was looking at, but it just felt like such an incredible present. And it's funny to me because there were a couple of times, the last time I saw that occur on my walk, that I had to kind of backtrack and then find ways. I wasn't worried about getting some water in my rubber boots, but I didn't feel right about like going in past my shins or past where my kind of quarter length boots go. It didn't feel safe, and they tell us that growing up on the peninsula, the ocean is not giggles. You don't go in anywhere near your knees really. If you don't have your sea legs, the riptide will take you. Hi, Misha. There were a few times I had to kind of backtrack and wind back through the tide because I think it was like a mid-high tide. I was really determined to see how far I could go because I thought it would feel really cool to walk all the way to Oahu and back. And I felt like I could at least get to sea view, and that'd be pretty neat. But I didn't. When I found the pit sort of deeper spot, hey Purdy Doo, where the phenomena occurred, I knew I didn't need, I couldn't, it was too deep, and I had wound my way into like a pocket of sand that was its own little peninsula on the peninsula. And it just occurred to me that was what, that was it. That's all. And I didn't know what I was looking at yet. And yeah, I let it feel epic. And I guess I want you guys to discover your own mythos and let that feel epic. We don't tell the thirsty strawberry plant that it's a narcissist for believing that when it rains for it. We encourage that. And when we eat its fruit, we don't say, thank you, I love you. We say, I love you. Thank you. I was gonna record a song today, and I did several times, it only recorded once. And I think the message is, that was for you. So I'm gonna hold on to this song a little longer. But I do want to tell you guys, I love that the word lies is in the middle of my name. And that the word ha follows that word. So thank you.